Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of One Take Talk. And if you haven't seen my first One Take Talk, you're probably wondering what that is. So it's where I pick a topic and I talk about it in one take. I don't redo the video, I don't restart, I don't edit pieces out. So, anyways, today's One Take Talk topic is the new Hearthstone expansion that is coming soon, Journey to Un'Goro. And before we start talking about the expansion specifically, I thought I'd give you a little overview of where I'm at in Hearthstone, I guess. So, the last month season just ended. As you can see, I didn't get very far. I would put myself in the semi-casual category right now. As you can see, I didn't really rank up at all last season. We'll open this up and get all of our nice shiny things. But the best I have done in a season was getting rank 4. That was in one of the seasons after nerfs. Cool. What's it called? After the One Night in Karazhan was fully released, my highest rank was rank 4. So I haven't hit legend yet. That's why I put myself as a semi-casual player. I've been building up my collection, and I'm pretty excited for Un'Goro actually, and not really because of the theme or the cards they've revealed so far, but mostly because I will actually have enough resources to craft meta decks at this point. I have been saving up pretty much since what's the expansion called? Since Cthulhu came out. I don't even remember what the expansion is called because I am a pleb. Cthulhu. Whispers of the Old Gods, yes. Since that expansion, I have been collecting. Like, before that, I played, like, super casually, but since then, I've been trying my best to do my dailies, and I've gotten almost all the solo adventures unlocked and done, except I'm missing some of Blackrock Mountain. So, when Un'Goro comes out, I'll be able to disenchant all of the previous expansions cards that I currently have, which will give me a huge amount of dust, and I'll get the Ragnaros dust because he's going out of rotation. Our Lord. That's one of the few legendaries that I have crafted, and it's going out of rotation. Luckily, Blizzard decided not to screw me over, and they're going to give everybody full dust value for that going out of rotation. So the next expansion, I should be set on dust, and you can look at my gold. I was saving up for expecting a adventure expansion, but instead we're getting just card pack expansion, which is a little bit disappointing, but hopefully they make up for it, because I'm disappointed in that with the solo adventures, you were guaranteed getting legendaries for putting in 700 gold. You knew what cards you were getting, and you knew the legendary you were getting. Now, you just open up packs, and whatever you get is random, and that kind of sucks for me. And also, I didn't say this, but my entire collection is free to play. I haven't spent any money. That's why I don't haven't had stuff for meta decks and whatnot. So, anyways, let's move on. I'll be having a lot of dust from disenchanting all of League of Explorers and some of Blackrock Mountain, and as well as all of the Grand Tournament cards. And then I got some gold. and we'll get lots of dust and all that cool stuff. So let's move on to the actual expansion part. So just bring here. Let's look at this page first. Okay, hold on. I made OBS small. There. Okay. So, Journey to Un'Goro. This is basically their prehistoric expansion. Gonna be dinosaurs and beast cards. They have added in a new monster type, elemental, and they've added in a new mechanic, adapt. Basically, play a card and it gives you set adapts to choose from to apply to that card. So Battlecry adapt on a 5/4, it'll give you 3, and then you can put on which one of the 3 that you want, and some of the options are +3 attack, taunt, wind fury. And you know, on a card like this, it would be, any of them would be pretty decent. Taunt would be nice, Divine Shield would be nice on, you know, this is just a stat card and it's a beast, I guess. Beast synergy. And they've also added in quests, and that actually looks pretty intriguing to me. So, do they? Okay, well, here you can kind of see it in this fucking blurry ass picture, but new quest cards. So quest summon 7 Death Rattle minions. Reward Amara Warden of Hope. And I'm guessing the reward goes straight into your hand. I don't know if they mentioned it or whatnot. But as you can see, the reward is OP as fuck. Amara Warden of Hope. 5 mana, 8/8. It's a pretty ridiculous 5 mana card to begin with. Also, Battlecry, set your hero's health to 40. So this is basically replacing Reno Jackson in a way. The condition to get to it will be a lot harder, but it's basically in a way a better Reno Jackson. You can play it while you're at full health if you want, and it could heal you potentially more than Reno Jackson could. So yeah, that's a pretty strong. But I want to focus on the actual quest part, because I'm assuming, and I'm pretty sure this is a safe assumption, not even an assumption, fact, that they will have more quest cards, and that the reason this intrigues me is you can build decks around the quests. Obviously, that's what they're aiming for. So you can have these Death Rattle decks, and that can also, so if you want to make a Death Rattle deck, you can have this quest, and you can also play N'Zoth. He synergizes with Death Rattles and whatnot. So they're basically, these quest cards are probably going to flesh out more of the more different deck types, I guess. So you can make Death Rattle decks. I'm guessing they'll probably have one for Battle Cries, which isn't exactly a deck type, because there are a lot of decks that just naturally use a crap ton of Battle Cries. But there might be one for playing Murlocs or Giants, stuff like that, so you can hopefully build more random decks around anything, is what I would like to see. More variation, different ways to build decks around. Just putting in this one card could make a whole different archetype of deck possible. Like Divine Shield minions, there were some variations of Paladin that could just spam Divine Shield minions. That could be a new possibility. Yeah, stuff like that. Looks very interesting. Moving on. What else was there? I want to try and keep this short, so I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, the other specific cards. So we got that up over here. So here's the cards they showed us so far. and we kind of already looked at this guy. He has Adapt. I'm not sure how good his base stats are, but with the Adapt, if you get the Adapt you want, or adding the Adapt on, I think this would be a pretty nice beast minion. Probably decent in some hunter decks would probably use it. Adding on the Adapt, I would say it's a pretty solid card that could be used to fill a 5 slot in a hunter beast deck. Let's see, how do we... There we go. Volcano for Shaman. Deal 15 damage randomly split among all minions. This seems like it could be a pretty strong board clear, and they showed this in the video. It also, when it says all minions, that includes your own, so for 5 mana, it can deal a lot of damage to the board. I think this is sort of a... I want to compare it to Brawl, except it's sort of in reverse. So what I mean by that is, basically for Brawl, you would want to play Brawl when your opponent has a lot of minions, and maybe you have 1 or 2. That part doesn't change how many minions you want on the board. You want almost no minions on the board when you Brawl, maybe 1 if you want to try to get lucky. Stuff like that. But this one would work in reverse, where you want your opponent to have maybe 2 or 3 strong minions to take out, or their board is just flooded with super weak minions that you know this will most likely take out, and then you have none on your board. So it's kind of like a Brawl for Shaman, I think, and I could see it being a decent card. I don't know for sure, because of course there's that random element, but it would definitely be a good control card pick. What else do they got? Gentle Megasaur. Battlecry. Adapt your Murlocs. I think this would be amazing for Murloc decks, even though it's not a Murloc itself, which is a little strange. But just, if we go and look at some of the adapts, these aren't all of them, but the strong ones for Murlocs are here. Adapting all your Murlocs for +3 attack, pretty fucking strong. Or adapting them all to have Wind Fury. Those two are two that would be amazing picks for Murlocs, I think. So that is a nice addition to any Murloc decks that people are trying to make. Pyro's legendary. Yes, this guy. So this is one of the new elemental types. And basically when it dies, it's returned to your hand as a stronger minion. So it starts as a 2 mana 2/2, then goes to a 6 mana 6/6, and then a 10 mana 10/10. And I could see this being pretty good, and I'm guessing they're going to introduce a lot of different elemental buff cards and stuff like that. And this would probably be a very sturdy card to include in that deck, since it keeps coming back to you stronger and stronger. So if you get this in your opening hand, you have an early gameplay, a mid gameplay, and a late gameplay. So I'm guessing any decks that would revolve around elementals, this would for sure be in it, and it's a legendary, so I think they've balanced it so that any elemental deck would have this in it. It'd just be mandatory for an elemental deck. And then Awaken the Makers. This was our quest card, which will obviously be very good for Death Rattle decks, and this card will probably be taking place of the Reno decks, and instead you'll have Death Rattle. Oh wait, Death Rattle. What is that chick called? Warden of Hope decks, I guess, or Death Rattle Amara decks to replace that hole that Reno is going to leave. Was that all of them? I think it was. So those are all of the cards. I'm looking forward to it, mostly because I'll actually be able to build a deck and hopefully get to Legend. That is one of my goals. I would like to reach Legend eventually. And was there anything else? Oh yeah. Another reason, one last final thing, is that basically since my deck, all of my collection has been free to play, one of my favorite classes, because it had the cheapest decks, is Hunter, and with this expansion we're expecting to see quite a few beast cards, so hopefully Hunter will come back around and be at least in the meta. I personally don't want it to be top tier because the top tier Hunter decks usually get shit talked about how easy they are to play. So I hope it's decent but not the best class for this expansion, because I don't want to be called a pleb that only knows how to play Hunter. And then I would just play it for fun or whatever. I'm rambling and not making any sense. I look forward to making strong decks once I get all of that dust, and since I have a bunch of gold saved up to buy packs. I'm looking forward to it, guys. Let me know if Let me know if you're looking forward to it, if you even play Hearthstone. What cards interest you so far? Yeah, any thoughts on that, or the one take talks? I'm trying to keep this one shorter. I'm almost certain it's not shorter at all. Well, let me know if you like the length that the last two have been. Otherwise, I will definitely for sure make them shorter, but I didn't really get any feedback on the length of the videos. But to not make it any longer, guys, thank you very much for watching, and as always, have an awesome day.